at the beginning, like if you've got loads of brain fog or you kind of struggle to get any work done or to focus, you just kind of think that that's just the way you are, and therefore, like nothing can be changed about that. So I
Mm.
think that's probably like the biggest limiting belief. I don't really have like energy crashes, so that obviously now that saves me from being like written off for a few hours in the afternoon. Optimizing your health in a way that you can kind of be equally as productive in 4 or 5 hours out of the day as you would be in like 12 hours if you hadn't kind of optimized and dialed things. So it's kind
Gwethan, welcome, bro.
of, yo, thank you for having me.
Let's get into it, bro. So obviously we've been working together for a while. We had a bit of a pause period. I think we started in February last year. We're in February 2026. And then you went off, you did a few things, a few side missions, come back. Now it's been like 4 months, nearly
About
nearly
that,
six
yeah.
months probably actually, towards the end
Yeah,
of it.
about
Yeah.
5 months, I think.
Yeah. Nice one. So yeah, obviously people who've clicked on this video, it's pretty much just a sit down interview with my client Gwethan. And yeah, I'm just gonna ask him some questions about how he is, just questions about health and how things were and after working with me. So yeah, just why don't you just tell people a little bit about yourself, like what do you do and that kind of thing.
So like there's so much in one, but basically I'm a musician and I'm an entrepreneur and I have a business. So my business is half a record label and production company and half an online business school for music businesses. And I am currently living in Amsterdam, studying at the Abbey Road Institute, studying music production and studio engineering. And yeah, I've got like a background in education and in business and international business, and spend a lot of time in like online courses, online communities, learning about business and stuff like that. And then have just kind of translated everything I know into building my own sort of online school.
Nice. And I don't even know parts of that myself. So what actually got you into the art side of things and then what got you into like the business side of things?
I think
Just
I've
curious.
always just been like into music and like I play guitar obviously and wanted to learn how to like produce my own music and how to produce other music for other people. And I kind of work at festivals a lot in the summer, maybe not so much now just because I'm kind of more focused like in the studio side of things. But um yeah, I always like freelanced at festivals, like working with like massive names on big stages. And then kind of yeah, had that background, and then I studied international business at uni, but obviously we all know uni's like a bit of a scam and didn't really rate it that much, and then kind of got into using school, and then obviously joined the new elite as well. And yeah, just kind of went from there basically.
Sick. And yeah, he's referring to SKOOL, and then the new elite is like an online network, which is how me and Gwethan met originally. So yeah, sick, bro. I actually didn't know that myself. When did you get into the business side of things? When did you start this? Specifically the school community.
Well, I mean, I kind of started the idea in, I guess, like July 2024, maybe. And then it kind of took, I've, I'm probably on like the fourth or fifth revision of it now.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I've just been kind of like making like that. I mean, the first version I made was pretty whack, but now kind of like the most up to date version is pretty good. So yeah, it's just been a case of just like revising it constantly and rebuilding it and kind of relaunching it and doing it like that.
mm. Yeah, I think that's with every business offer, like the first few iterate, like you need to do so many iterations. Like even myself, I'm
Exactly. Yeah.
still
Yeah.
iterating like every few months or so. So yeah, sick, bro. But before we started working together, like how sort of busy would you say you were? Like what was your schedule like? What were your like daily responsibilities?
Well, when we started working together, I was living at home for a year and then trying to build. So I'd come back from university and I was like trying to build myself up to move abroad. And yeah, so I didn't really have a schedule at all. And I had stuff to do, like I had the business to do, but obviously when you've kind of got all of the time in the world and zero schedule, zero structure, it's kind of hard to actually get anything done. So yeah, before we were working together, my productivity wasn't really all that high, which is kind of why we sort of started working together in the first place, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, I know it was like it was a little while ago, but I remember sort of the main reasons why I thought we were a really good fit was because you told me that like you basically said like your brain wouldn't really turn on till like the afternoon. Like you sort of felt like your mornings were just a complete waste of time. And I was like, like it took a bit of convincing. I was like, bro, like you're wasting all these hours every day. Like imagine like when that adds up week by week and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, exactly.
there was that. There's also the productivity. But what would you say were like the main reasons why you decided to work with me? Why it was like the right decision?
Well, it's kind of like what you said is like for the money, if you can work more hours and sustain more sustainably a higher level of productivity and all of those kinds of things, then it kind of like pays for itself, you know, like it's almost like free in a way because you free up so much time, you're able to work better, you're able to get better results. So it's kind of like a no-brainer, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been my mindset for a while, to be fair. And so what did you like? What did you think it was at the time? Like, what did you think was causing like that sort of brain fog and those energy crashes and that kind of thing?
I think just like not knowing about a lot of smaller or not smaller, but like more like niche details regarding like nutrition, obviously like gut health, circadian rhythm. I didn't know about at all. And then yeah, just
Yeah.
like kind of all of these like small optimizations that get you an extra 10%. I just wasn't doing any of them, which kind of made it hard to sort of do anything. And then
Mm,
obviously then kind of being on my own clock and just sort of yeah not having any like firm deadlines for myself. I think all of that paired together just kind of made it difficult to like brute force your way forward, you know.
100%. And like, how long were you sort of in that cycle for? How long were you in that phase of like just kind of struggling to have optimal focus?
Ages, I guess, like months probably.
Uh,
Quite a while.
Do you think like did that did you just notice the focus issue, or do you feel like it was a thing that was happening for a little while? Maybe like, because for some people, like their business demands or their lifestyle just demands more energy and focus. So then they're like, oh shit, like fuck, I'm crashing
Yeah,
in the mornings. I can't afford to have this happen to me anymore.
yeah, I mean, like I always found with like school and university and stuff, I just wasn't able to focus on work or in class or anything like that, or kind of engage with kind of lessons. Like my mind always just kind of wanders elsewhere, and I kind of struggled to pay attention. But I think when it comes to the business, that obviously that's like aligned with me, and then obviously there's so many things to do all the time. So
Yeah.
especially, I mean, yeah, well, like I said, while I was at home, obviously I knew I had things to do, but I didn't necessarily have any pressure to do them because like I was like or reasonably comfortable financially. I kind of had time. I didn't like I was living at home with my parents, so it was kind of like all right. But now I'm kind of living abroad and I've got like insane rent to pay and tuition and stuff. It's like I've got
Mm,
like a level of pressure that's it kind of forces me to keep developing and keep moving, which I guess
mm,
some people wouldn't necessarily like, but I think it's kind of good for me because obviously I still take downtime and I still kind of relax. And if I push myself too hard, I kind of just like ease off for a week and kind of learn to like be more healthy with the grind. But having this kind of level of responsibility, I guess, and I guess
mm,
pressure as well, kind of pushes me forward. But obviously now I've learned everything that I've learned working with you. It's kind of enabled me to work at this higher capacity. Whereas if I had jumped straight into that, I think it would have been a lot more difficult.
yeah. And what you said with the pressure makes sense. Like for me, that's how I really got my business started because I had no business when I traveled, and then all of a sudden I'm paying my own bills, and I'm like, shit, like I need to really take action on what I know. And for me at the time, all I really knew was like how to optimize my health. Like I had a lot of limiting beliefs. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing with sales and marketing. Like I had enough of an idea and confidence to do it, but yeah, that pressure has really like made me build my business. So absolutely, bro,
Yeah.
that makes complete sense.
Yeah, I kind of had like the opposite way around. Like, obviously, I've studied business since I was like 13, and I'd been in like all sorts of like school communities and done like all sorts of online courses and stuff. So I kind of knew how to do the business side of things, but I just wasn't able to dial my performance in a way that was kind of
Mm,
enabling me to be capable of kind of actually running a business properly.
mm, yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that. What would you say like when we worked together? What was one thing that we did or fixed or optimized that you thought like before we did it, you probably would have thought like, oh, that wouldn't really help, or like maybe like something that really surprised you that we tweaked, and I guess it helped you.
I think I think one surprising thing is waking up slightly later, because I was like trying to wake up at 7 a.m. every day regardless and then work it back. Then I just make myself really tired because I'd be going to bed late anyway. So then kind of unlocking it in your brain that as long as you get 8 hours of sleep and you sleep at the same time every day and wake up at the same time every morning, then that's much better than kind of forcing yourself to wake up early. So I think
Mm,
that was like a big shift. And then obviously the Whoop and kind of really leaning into improving sleep quality, I think was kind of like a big one as well. Because yeah, I just kind of always felt like tired and lethargic all the time. Um, but then yeah, I guess also perhaps like the gut health stuff probably helped a lot with that as well, like turning that around. Um, and also I'd say kind of not working at the weekends has been a big one. And just kind of yeah, a lot of these like smaller things that sort of compound together.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. They all compound together. Like someone can do, they can have a good routine, they can sleep okay, but if their gut health is cooked, like that's gonna fry them. Or if they're doing everything right, but their dopamine system is completely fried, then they're not gonna feel that good. So you kind of have to do like everything right at the same time, have all the things covered at once, which a lot of people don't fully understand. A lot of people try, and I want to ask you that, but a lot of people try sort of random things like an ice bath, and then they take supplements and that kind of thing. What things did you already try before to help with like focus, energy, motivation, like all that kind of stuff
Yeah, I
to
mean,
improve your
just
performance?
yeah, like trying like random supplements. Um,
What did you
and
try? Like what supplements?
well, I did like kind of ones that I take anyway. I guess the ones I was taking before you was like
Yeah.
creatine, obviously, omega 3. I think like Ginkgo biloba or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Vitamin B. I think yeah, that might have been it, and then maybe something else, like Tonga Alley or something like that. Um, and then I guess also yeah, to improve focus, I wasn't really doing much to intentionally improve focus and productivity. I don't think
Mm. Mm. That's like a
because I
lot of
didn't.
the common
I
things
didn't.
people try.
Yeah, I didn't really well, I didn't really know of like the methods necessarily. So I mean I was kind of into like watching like YouTubers like Hamza at the time and kind of learning about like how to improve focus just
Yeah.
through like self-improvement YouTube content. But again, it only kind of gets you like so far a lot of the things. So
Yeah. There's because I did the same for years. That's how like I eventually figured out my own sort of health system is just tying together a bunch of things I learned, and then like trial and error and experimenting and really trying to tie like why I feel tired. What can I do to fix it? I was just a bit of a nerd. And yeah, I think that's a problem. Like people trying random things they hear online and trying to tie it together when in reality like everyone's case is different. Everyone has a different gut
yeah, I think I
microbiome,
was also trying to
schedule,
trying
sleep,
to eat
everything.
zero carbs as well, which obviously doesn't
That was,
help.
I remember that. Yeah, I believe you were high fat, low carb, which was,
Just
yeah, that was
steak and
that.
eggs.
Yeah,
Steak and
yeah,
eggs
yeah.
every day.
But that's a big fucking trend online, is it, in the steak and egg community? That was
Yeah.
definitely one of the big changes we did for you now. I remember that. Yeah, and that's an example of like, you hear things online and you try things and then it doesn't work for you, but then you hear, oh, but steak and eggs is good. You know what I mean? That was me as well. I was training hard, like martial arts, and having steak and eggs, like 6 eggs a day, like a steak and like chicken and shit. And like I would just get these crashes and feel tired. I'm like, but I'm doing everything right. I'm doing the right things. But yeah, it's just everything's individual, and it depends on your situation pretty much. So
Yeah, and I found like compounding lots of like these micro actions is much more efficient than trying to do these sort of extreme kind of changes or extreme kind of regiments. Like you have a lot more success kind of doing all of these kind of like micro adjustments, I find.
mm. Mm-mm. What were some of the micro adjustments you did that you still stick to till now? Like it's been over a year. Some things that you still do every day.
So kind of like yeah, tracking sleep and stuff with the Whoop. Eating things like relevant to the biome. Most of the time, sort of waking up and going out for walks first thing in the morning. Like that's been, and yeah, just walking in general. Like get just because my class or my school is literally a 2 minute walk from my house, and the gym is like a 5 minute bike ride. So it's kind of like intentionally getting steps every day to like recharge the batteries. I think has been like a massive one.
Hmm.
And now it's nicer weather and it's actually like warm. So I think yeah, I'll be able to get like sunlight in my eyes kind of straight away in the mornings. And
Hmm.
yeah, we're kind of on the other side of winter now. So
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Definitely some cool habits. And the people watching right now might be like, okay, cool, he's walking, he's getting sunlight, whatever. But these sort of tie into the next question I want to ask, which is like, how much time do you feel like what's your relationship with time when it comes to like managing business and health? That's a bit of a broad question, but obviously a lot of people feel like, when it comes to optimizing their health, like it takes so much time and they have to like have these long routines and cook for themselves and that kind of thing. So for you, like what's your relationship with time when it comes to balancing or like managing business and your health?
Mm, well, I mean, to be honest, I do just kind of too much anyway. Like I'm studying full time, I've got a business, I'm learning instruments, I'm kind of doing like all like other like extracurricular things. So yeah, kind of like doing all of that and then managing health gets difficult, especially when there's like more time pressure. Like there's been times where I've kind of like fallen off the health grind because I've had like huge amounts of stuff and stress to kind of get sorted in a small amount of time. But I'd say overall, kind of the relationship with time has been to, instead of thinking that you need to work like 12 hours a day, kind of dialing in your health and enable and in a way and focusing on your health and optimizing your health in a way that you can kind of be equally as productive in 4 or 5 hours out of the day as you would be in like 12 hours if you hadn't kind of optimized and dialed things. So it's kind of, I found that yeah, when you do kind of put your health first, which is hard because you instinctively want to put business first and you want to kind of put all of these other things first. But when you put your health first, it kind of you kind of get more time back, or the time that you spend working is more productive and more efficient anyway. And I don't really have like energy crashes. So that obviously now or anymore, I used to, but now I don't have any energy crashes. So that saves me from being like written off for a few hours in the afternoon. Like I don't feel completely like shut down until midday. So that buys you back more time. So yeah, I find that yeah, putting health first kind of buys you more. It doesn't, obviously it doesn't buy you more time, but it kind of makes your time more efficient, more effective, and means you can get more done, which buys time back, I guess.
Hmm. Mm, mm, mm. Fair. What would you say was like right before we started working together, did you have any like hesitations or doubts, any like beliefs you feel like were kind of like, oh shit, like what if this doesn't work? What if like what was sort of going through your mind that was maybe a doubt or a hesitation?
I guess a lot of it is just thinking that you can kind of just do it yourself, or yeah, it wasn't necessarily that it like wouldn't work, but I guess like sometimes it's like you notice it with like prospects on like sales calls and stuff. They kind of think that they can just do it themselves or they can get there without the support and stuff. But then I think it's just kind of them hiding like an actual objection under something else, you know. So yeah, I kind of saw the value in it, and I'm glad I did the program and I saw the value in it, and yeah, that's obviously why I went ahead. But yeah, I guess a lot of objections came from just, I guess investing in health isn't really like a tangible thing. Like it's not like you buy, I mean it is, but it's not like you're buying a course to learn how to make more money, or you know,
Hmm.
you're buying something to do something. You're kind of buying knowledge that you then have to implement, and then it's on you to kind of get the results out of it. So yeah, I think those were the kind of objections, but obviously I'm glad that I went through with it.
Hmm. Hmm. Fair enough. Yeah. What would you say the support was like? I know it's like me asking you this, so it's like it could be a bit biased, but do you feel like the support I gave was enough? like not enough? Do you think it's like the right balance? Because for some people I work with, they don't even want any one-to-one calls. They just want to like get the feedback, do the thing, that's it. I know some people like having more time, like they want to hop on calls. So for you personally, like, do you feel like the support I give is like enough, too much?
Yeah, I think it was solid. Like, so obviously the way we did it was we worked for 3 months with weekly calls, and then I was kind of like on tour and stuff for a few months, and like went abroad and things. And then obviously now we're working together, or we've been working together for nearly 6 weeks bi-weekly. So I think having like the weekly calls at first was pretty useful because obviously you're kind of like laying the foundations. But then after that period, you kind of don't necessarily need a weekly course. And then when we shifted to bi-weekly, I think that was also pretty good and efficient. So yeah, I think the support level is pretty solid, and like the reaching out on Telegram quite frequently and kind of the accountability and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think it was a pretty solid balance for what I like. Like, I guess I could have asked for more support or asked for less if I wanted it, but I didn't really feel it
Mm.
necessary. So
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, I find it interesting because yeah, some people like, as I said, like they want to message me 10 times a day. Some people message me like once every few days, just like
right.
whatever works for people, right? So yeah, what would you say was like what's been the biggest change you think since working together?
I'd say like my capacity for stress has kind of massively increased, but also just kind of my performance in general, my focus, and being able to just kind of get up and do work and not having loads of resistance or procrastination or brain fog
Mm,
or feeling tired all the time. I'm able to just kind of actually just do shit and do the work that I want to do instead of kind of having like these invisible bottlenecks that I don't really know what
mm.
they even are, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking great to hear, bro. What would you say were some like beliefs that you completely changed now, like regarding how you see health, how you see performance, how you see business, some things that are sort of like around identity and I guess beliefs around health.
Yeah, I guess like at the beginning, like if you've got loads of brain fog or you kind of struggle to get any work done or to focus, you just kind of think that that's just the way you are, and therefore, like, nothing can be changed about that. So I
Mm,
think that's probably like the biggest limiting belief. Um, And yeah, I think that kind of ties into everything really. Just I guess people just kind of in a lot of things in life, not even necessarily just this, they just kind of feel like that's just who they are, that's just the way it is, and that's just how the way things are going to be. And then because of that, they don't change anything, and then nothing changes.
yeah, it's something that you're 100% right. I see it so just with people, not even business owners, like they get brain fog and low energy and they think like it is what it is. But like at the end of the day, there's everything's cause and effect. There's a lot of things people haven't looked at, with their health, their gut microbiome, their meal timing, their sleep quality, like how they're structuring their day, their stress management. Everything's cause and effect, and people just leave it to like fate, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's all in people's control. So that's something I'm trying to spread awareness of, I guess. Um, what would you say to someone who's like an entrepreneur? They're already making like some good money, but they get these sort of afternoon crashes. They get brain fog, that kind of thing, and they feel kind of stuck. Like, what would you tell them?
Well, I say like the biggest thing for brain fog has been just eating properly, eating at consistent times, and kind of again, yeah, building micro actions like we've mentioned to kind of prevent that. But I don't know. I'd say kind of, yeah, really become aware of how much time you're losing and how much energy you're losing, how much opportunity you're losing, and kind of see it as like an opportunity cost. Because if you're unable to do deep work for half of the day, or you're losing multiple hours a day to just being like tired and low energy and all of that sort of stuff, then kind of weigh up over a week, over a month, over a year, over a lifetime, like how much
Hmm.
that is actually costing you. And yeah, like realizing that you could be doing so much more and working at such a higher level, and not even in a sense where you kind of grind hard, hard, hard and have zero life. Like if you kind of dial your health, you kind of win on both sides. Like you have more free time, you have better rest, you enjoy you enjoy life outside of work more, and then ultimately you make more money. So it just kind of everything ties in together, really.
Said. I agree. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything, bro. Wait, let me just see if
Yeah,
there's
sweet.
anything else I want to ask you. I feel like I've asked you everything. Yeah. Thank you for everything. I mean, why don't you tell people a little bit about what you're doing with your business and what you're building, any plans for 2026, anything
So
exciting?
my school, like I'm on like I said, like on like the fifth revision, and now it's an online business school. The first version I made was kind of me showing people how to make a business plan and like leaning into like the more theory side of things, which I'd learned in uni. But then I realized that no one wants that, and then I kind of went on a quest to building a much more like practical version. So now I've built like a go high level back end system, and now like my whole program is literally taking people through like step by step, click by click, how to build an online business, and then how to like choose a niche in a market, and how to, yeah, like the A to Z of business, and actually giving them the tools to do it, and then walking them through it rather than just kind of briefly telling them what they need to do. I find that that doesn't really work that well for people. Whereas if you literally give them the things that they need and then show them exactly how to make it their own, and it's a lot more like, I find, yeah, like the practical work is a lot better than like theoretical work. Um, and yeah, so I kind of spent like a good solid year just grinding it, and then since I've moved to Amsterdam, I've been grinding it some more, and now I'm just kind of studying music production. So I'm in school from 10 till 2 every day, and then book the studios out a few times a week. And now I'm able to just kind of like fit the business in and around that, and just kind of I'm productive a lot, but I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily like working all the time. Like a lot of it's more like creative stuff, so it kind of balances out quite
Mm,
nicely.
sick, sick, sick. I'll leave a link in the description for whatever you want, whether it's your Instagram or
Yeah,
your
Instagram,
school.
sweet.
Sweet.
Instagram, sweet.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Gwethan. I'll catch you guys in the
Yeah,
next
no
one.
worries.